I'm going to show the property of exponents worksheet step by step, but I'm not going to talk through each step. I'm just going to step through them quickly. So, follow along, pause the recording as you wish in order to see the steps at your own speed. Moving on to the next step, the next problem. It's number 2. Again, each time I see a negative exponent, I'm going to move it to the bottom. Cross out things that I can cancel and write my answer. Move negative exponent to the bottom. Notice the negative exponent only goes with the r, not with the 4. And I can group the 4 and the 2 together. Next problem. Move the negative 3 with the n to the bottom. Cross out things that I can. Get 8n. I've got 4 factors of k and 1 factor of k. So 4 plus the 1 more makes 5 factors of k. And 2 times 4 is 8. Notice order of multiplication doesn't matter. Move negative exponents to the bottom, leave everything else where it is. Cross out y cubes. Expand out the x's to make it easier to figure out what's left. I get 4x squared. Group the 2 and the 3 together and write it as 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And then put it in alphabetical order. X comes before y. Again here, I'm going to write it as 2 factors of u in the front because u comes before v in the alphabet. And I've got 3 factors of v followed by 1 factor of v, giving me 4 factors of v altogether. Move negative exponents to the bottom. Expand. Cross out things that I can cancel. And I'm left with 12 over AB. Move negative exponents. Leave everything else where it is. Expand. Cancel. And I'm left with an answer. Anything to the 0th power is 1. Doesn't matter how complicated inside it is. Doesn't become x, just becomes 1. Move it to the bottom because it's a negative 4 exponent. And expand out. Group the 2's together and the x squareds together. And I'm left with 1 over 16x to the 8th. This one I'm going to do in a slightly different order because r to the 0 can be simplified as just 1. So I get 4 times 1 to the 4th, giving me 4 to the 4th, which on a calculator gives me 256. Expand this out. Group the 4's together and the a's together. 3 factors of a with 3 more gives me 6. Expand. Group 3's, group the k's. I'm left with this. Multiply out the number part because it says simplify, and I get 81 k to the 16th. Move the whole thing to the bottom, and I'm done. Again, move the whole thing to the bottom, and I'm finished. Expand. Move the y to the negative 1's to the bottom, and combine the tops and the bottoms. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th, and y times y is y squared. Move the whole thing to the bottom, even the y to the negative 3. And now I got to move the y to the negative 3 back up to make it a positive exponent. And I'm finished. move the whole thing to the bottom, expand, and simplify the numbers. Expand, cross out the r's, I get 1 over 2r. Move the x to the negative 1 down, give me 1 over x to the 4th times x, which is 5 factors of x altogether. So I have 1 over 4x to the 5th. Expand out, cancel out things that I can. I'm left with n only. M to the 4th divided by m to the 4th is 1. So I get 1/2 as my answer on 24. 25, move the m to the negative 4 to the bottom, and I get 7 factors of m in the bottom, which is 3 over m to the 7th. 26 is kind of messy. Every time you see a negative exponent, move it to the other location. So if it's in the top, move it to the bottom. If it's in the bottom, move it to the top. So I moved the negative 4, the y to the negative 4 down, z to the negative 3 down, y to the negative 3 in the bottom. I moved it up. Whenever I move them, I make the exponent positive. Expand it out. Didn't have room for all the z's, so I showed an arrow showing the rest of them. Cross out the x's and the y's that I can, and I'm left with 2x squared over 3y z to the 7th. 27, I can simplify the z to the 0, x to the 0 as 1, and move the y to the negative 2 to the bottom. Cross out the 4's. I'm left with z cubed over xy squared. 28, just move the j to the negative 3 to the bottom. And order of multiplication doesn't matter, so I'm going to now group the j's together in the bottom, and then cancel out that one pair of k's that I can, and I'm left with 2h cubed over 3j to the 4th. 29, I'm going to expand out and then cross out pairs that I can. Left with 4m squared n over 3p. Finally, take the negative exponents and move them to the other location. So the x to the y to the negative 1 and z to the negative 1 go to the bottom. X to the negative 4 goes to the top. The variables to the 0 become 1. Expand out what I've left, and then simplify what remains. Thanks for watching. Study for the test, please, and you'll be ready for the test tomorrow. Thanks.